I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Oh, good evening. Hey, I need a picture of Nicole. Somebody can get me a picture of Nicole. That would be good. Hey, we're getting ready to get started. We're going to bring Katherine on here in just 1 second. I do have to make this quick announcement for y'all. We have a contest that we're going to start here very soon. And I'm going to tell those of you that are the most ardent supporters, viewers, friends, the biggest nobodies of them all. If you want to be part of something, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I need a couple of you. Let me see. There's about 5 or 6 slots where we're going to use a member of the audience, like 5 to 6 members of the audience, to do a thing. If you are interested in being a part of something that we're going to start doing here in the near future, it's basically a one and done. What I'm going to do is, if you are interested in being a part of this and you are interested in involving yourself in, I guess, the contest, we're not really decided what the contest is yet, but if you're interested, what you will win, what you will get is, we will contact you at some point here soon, and we will get in touch with you like over the phone, and we will have you say something. I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet, but I'm going to have you say like a line that we will give you, and you can practice the line, and you can say the line as you see fit, and we're going to record that little clip, and it won't be anything. It won't be anything that's bad, or it won't be anything against anybody specific. It'll be related specifically to the show. If you're interested in being a part of this, keep this in mind. We're going to do this. I need to talk to Kate and find out what we're going to do, how we're going to do the contest. But I'm just letting you know, I told you guys about this a little bit when I announced that the studio was going to be moving. So I'm going to be talking to you about that. We're going to kick that off probably the end of this week, so just be thinking about that. We're gonna do it. So we will let you know. The other thing that I just want to say, I've got a contributing correspondent that we are going to pull up, and we're going to talk about everything that went on today, and it's totally not related to Henry County in any way. I do want to let you guys know I will be in Henry County tomorrow. My appointment with the Henry County Sheriff's Department to review the video that I've requested and to get my copies of the video. That is tomorrow. Tuesday, the 17th, I will be there and I will be getting this. And so probably tomorrow evening, we will be doing a Henry County show looking at video and going about this. So just keep that in mind if you're from Henry County. I saw a comment by Tweedledum as I was coming in that said, like, nobody in here's from Henry County. What Potato Head doesn't realize is, and I know he doesn't like this. I know people don't like to hear this. And I started saying it as a joke because I've never, ever said this before because it's totally irrelevant to me. I know how much like money's coming in. I know what's going on. So people don't need to know. I don't care. You can think you're the only person listening. That's fine. But between the YouTube, the Facebook, and all the Rumble and the audio podcast would blow you people away. I think you would be shocked, but not counting the audio podcast, just the video stuff. We are at about 3 million views, in a 3-month period where we are just at about 100. We are at about 1.5 million views in a 28-day period. And for Mr. Potato Head to think that a large portion of the constituents from Henry County are not following and not listening, that would be one of the biggest mistakes you could ever make. One of our largest audience bases is from Henry County. People started asking me to come in and look at Henry County as far back as 2016, and I blew them off. I said, I don't have time for this. I'm doing other things. There's not room for that. It doesn't make sense. And they were relentless. They were hounding me. So when I started looking into Henry County in 2020, we had a major uptick. And that was when I was still doing Perception is Reality. And so for anybody down there, whether you be John Sproles or any of the commissioners or council or Mr. Potato Head, for you to wrongly or falsely think that there is not a large portion of Henry County citizens that are listening to this program, either live after the fact or on the audio podcasts, that would be a grave misstep on your behalf. So just FYI. And the offer still stands. I will totally blow off Katherine. And well, she would be here. She would be on. She would stay. But we would totally change the entire show up and let Mr. Howard come on if he wouldn't be absolutely scared out of his skull to do so. He likes to run his mouth ignorantly in the comments, spelling errors, grammar mistakes. Half the time he doesn't understand what's going on. Dude, you really need to get an understanding of what your versus your is. Y-O-U-R versus Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. You really need to get that figured out, brother. Because look, it's Henry County. You might win the sheriff's race down there. Like stupid shit happens. Look, they put Sproles in last time, so you could be the sheriff. You probably need to get an understanding of your and your. But the offer stands. You're willing. If you're willing, we are ready and willing for you to come on and to present your case to your audience and have all the time you need. And, but be scared. Be that 13-year-old girl that I know you are. And build your evidence. Okay. And creep around in the comments, you freaking weirdo. Other than that, because he's scared And this is the man that wants to be a sheriff, but he's afraid to go on social media. He's afraid to talk to a political commentator, but he wants to be sheriff. Since he's afraid, we're going to proceed on with the show. You all know that we had a big day today. The Madison County Republican Party and ex-Republican Party chairman, Russ Willis. For those of you that are not familiar with Russ, we've got Russ here. This is Russ on the screen. Here he is. Russ Willis filed a complaint against Katherine Callahan, Dr. Katherine Callahan, and Nicole Kapuściński. I really screwed up. But he filed a complaint against both of these women, and we went there and we were live before the hearing. We were live after the hearing, but this is our deep dive into it. And to do this right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be bringing on Katherine Callahan. Dr. Callahan is here.
Listen, I was almost like falling asleep.
I know.
I was like, Randy, I'm so excited you're here. You are such good commentary over there in the chat box. You can keep people entertained. And I would be happy if Randy wanted to come on with us.
I'm running for sheriff, not president, Chris, big idiot. What's that got to do with anything? Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. What does that have to do with anything? I'm running for sheriff, not president, Chris, big idiot. What kind of English is that? Yeah, right. Yeah, yes. Thank God. Thank God. It's really scary.
We were unclear about what exactly you were running for.
I'm running for sheriff, not president, Chris, big idiot. Licking the glass, eating the paste sandwich. Okay. Jesus. I'm surprised you were able to come live on here tonight, Katherine, because you were live about 500,000 other times today. I noticed.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Alva sent me a message earlier, and I'm like, listen, I'm trying to get my fifth wind by this moment.
I know, yeah.
You know? And so he's like, don't worry, you have exactly 43 minutes and 27 seconds to get that done. So it's just one of those things. First of all, I just want to thank everybody who came out. Carrie McFadden came out. Jim Bauer came out. Dave Sargent came out. Lisa Summers came out. Tim Funk came out. Bill Riley came out. Jeff Hager came out.
Bill O'Reilly was there.
Right. Oh, no, it was just it was just great that we had people, and there were many more.
My grandparents came out. My brother came out. What in the hell?
Chris locked his keys in his car. I mean,
dude, it was Northwest Wrecker came out. It was I think they were very supportive of what was going on. It was an event.
It was. And there were some great signs. I was surprised I didn't get penalized for quoting John F. Kennedy on some of these signs because he's a Democrat.
That's the reason.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
Real quick, I have to say this. This is the obligatory. It's now, in order to get paid, I have to say this once per episode. This is the obligatory comment. No shit, Randy, I don't want to debate you. Do you understand? I want you to come on, and I will mute myself, and I will let you talk to your people down there. You don't live anywhere, buddy. I don't think of you other than when you're in my comments. You're here on my show. I don't ever call you. I don't ever think of you. I spend no time giving any kind of shit about you because you are a non-entity.
But Randy, if you feel more comfortable being on this show with me, a Republican not in good standing, I'm happy to be your commentator. Because with me, you can say anything you want.
I didn't reach out to Randy saying, "Oh, Randy, please come onto the show. Oh, Randy, we want to talk to you." It was real quick. I don't ever do this.
Randy to come on at 9:00.
Well, we invited him when he's on acting like an idiot, but I got to pull Kate up and I got to ask, Kate, did we as a team not become barraged with just text and messages with Randy
He
trying to get in
contacted
contact.
me about coming on the show because he said that he had heard that I was the brains.
You are the brains.
Maybe he would feel more comfortable with more estrogen. So
he was hoping I could help.
Because I blew him off. For the 3 years I've known him, he's literally in my phone as do not answer. I met him the very first day, and after that day, I put him in my phone as do not answer. And so he had to reach out to you because I was just blowing him off.
Randy, you can call me. It's 317-445-5501. I'll answer you.
Poor Randy. It's okay, brother.
I know what it feels like, Randy, to be kind of in your position. I mean, I was sent to exile today.
Randy would love to talk. Hey,
for the entertainment.
You don't know what you did. You know how they say vampires, once you invite them in, you can't get rid of them?
Yeah.
Randy would love to talk to you, and you just gave him your number. So it's, it's going to say a little Scott King-like.
It's all good.
Hey, a little Scott King-like.
I offer medicine too for those in need. So I'm full service. I can cancel you. I can prescribe you medicine to help you. So please feel free to message me. I we can make you an appointment certainly, and you can come pay to actually speak to me.
I don't know that you have the medicine that stops the window licking or the paste sandwich eating. I don't know that. I don't know. If you do, we can send it Randy's way. All right, that's all I wanted, Kate. I just wanted to make sure. I mean, you're free to stay.
I'm not sure why he keeps showing up.
Yeah, it's right. It's because
we're infectious. People gravitate to the truth
for it.
Yeah,
coming in here and immediately attacking everyone in the comments.
Yeah,
because it's like children.
I don't care if you're rude.
They have to be the center of attention. And
that's ding, 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 ding. That's exactly. In very quick order, and here's going to be the thing, because I just like playing with him and calling him stupid.
I mean, next he's going to hold his breath.
Yeah, right. But in very quick order, I am not going to comment to him ever again, and whatever he says in the show, you guys in the comments are free to comment, but I'm not going to give him any more air. He's getting off on this because we're making him relevant. We're making him relevant. See, look. Oh, good boy, Randy. You made the same joke that we did 30 seconds ago. You're learning. But that's what's going on.
Admiral's so right. I'm like, let him go. Bump this post. Bump this all the way. The more people that see this, I'm all in. I can care less what your comments are because they're helping us.
Brad Sawinski he's a candidate, literally running for office, telling half of his constituency that they're idiots and
in a three-way race.
Yeah, it's six.
There's 6 people running in that.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh, this will be exciting.
Yeah.
4 Republicans, 2 Democrats.
I just want you guys to know that we can see how many people are watching. I'm super excited that when Chris was on, we were only at 75, and then I came on and we're almost at 100. We're at 94.
They're here for Randy.
Super exciting.
They are here for Randy.
So I just want to say that, and I think Nicole Kapuściński, because I can say her name.
Yes, that's good.
I would just want to shout out to her, and I think Nicole's going to be one that can attest to this. I will never leave anyone behind.
Never.
I will always make sure that my people, or even if you're a complete stranger, if you're in the right, I am going to absolutely come to the front line for you, and we are going to go at this together, and no man is ever going to be, or woman is going to be left behind. And so a huge shout out to Nicole today on her win. Now she is completely free. She has no cuffs at all. Me, I have a chain and a ball that's on my ankle, and
that's the second good night.
It is what it is. What do you think about the verdict there, Kate?
Yeah, well, so yeah, you kind of know or don't. I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
Yes, do tell.
Nicole's surprised me.
Me too.
And all I could think when she was talking about how they were going to publish, she has be publicly admonished.
Yeah.
All I could think of was when, the little private at Fort Campbell got caught shoplifting a package of razors. And they made him show up during the duty day in uniform. And that was to the PX. And that was his duty station for the day. And he had to stand outside the PX with a giant sign that said, "My name is PFC Smith. I got caught stealing from the PX. This is a bad thing to do. Don't steal."
Well, yeah,
like all day. Everybody going in sees him, and
how are you going to do that? How are you going to publicly shame her?
Stand on the courthouse lawn with a sign that says, "I'm a bad girl."
No. Kind of like call to prayer. Russ is going to make his way to the top of the bell tower or the clock tower or whatever it is you guys have over there.
Yeah.
And
Gardner's clock tower.
Yeah. And he's going to stand up there and say, "Nicole Kapuściński is what? I don't even know what they're going to say. She's not a bad. What are they saying? Well, I don't even know what they said. Because here's what the ruling was. The ruling was, this is what they said. "We are admonishing her for her bad behavior." But they didn't say what the bad behavior was. They didn't say when she committed the bad behavior. Like, was it a day? That's what her husband said. Her husband's like, wait, I mean, who gets to, I think he wanted in on that. I think he was on their side for a minute.
I don't know how many people sent me a message that says, "If you're getting a spanking, can we give it?" I'm thinking to myself, there's nobody spanking me.
I told Nicole, I said,
"What you're talking about?"
I said, "She's actually, Nicole, this is your chance. You've actually won up Katherine. This is like, you got to ride this home, man. This is a big deal." So
right. For
those that don't know, just in brief, basically the Russ Willis, the former Republican Party chairman of Madison County, filed.
He is the former.
Yeah, that's very important
because he's never coming back to his seat.
Oh yeah. The former. He went out after last year in March of 2025. Kelly Hewer was put into place, so she's coming up on her 1 year, being 1 year in as chair, and so the former chairman filed 2 complaints. Okay, and this is very important. The complaints that were filed was not filed. So you're a state candidate. You're running for State Senate District 25, and she's running at the county level, County Council District 2 in Madison County. So in order to kick you guys off the ballot, to have you questioned and challenged during election board meetings at the state level and at the county level, Russ would have had to file a challenge, which you can do. He would have had to file a challenge against her at the county level in Madison County, and he would have had to file a challenge against you at the state. And that challenge period is from noon on February 6th, the deadline for filing. So that's when no more people can file for candidate, until noon on 1 week later, noon on Friday, February 13th. He would have had to have filed that challenge, but he didn't. He didn't file a challenge on her. He didn't file a challenge on you at either place. But what he did do was way back in January, before you had filed. I don't know if Nicole was filed yet or not, but you definitely hadn't. He had went to the Indiana State Republican Party, and at the 5th district where you guys all reside, he filed 2 complaints, one against you, one against her, stating that you guys were quote unquote Republicans in bad standing. He wanted you to be found Republicans in bad standing, and he put forward a bunch of evidence that was just it was hearsay. None of it was verified. None of that was verified that any of you had put that forward. And we'll explain that here in a little bit. But he put this together, and the 5th district said, yes, there might be enough here to hear a complaint. So the hearing was today, and we had a big, listen, we didn't have 5,000 people out there, but we had a good grouping of people out there that came out. It was in the middle of the workday.
You're such a nut.
People people were working and things, so we appreciate the people that came out, and we had some food and we hung out. And then at 2 p.m. and here's the thing, and I want to say this because I don't think she was going to say this. Literally about 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes before the 2 p.m. hearing, a patient of some sort, or somebody, I don't know who it was, somebody called into Catherine, and Catherine had to go and take care of an issue and deal with a phone call, deal with some kind of I don't know, it was like an emergent medical situation, but a medical situation that called her away from the scene. And this is a big thing that people need to realize. Even though this is serious and this is, important, and she wants to be very involved with this, and she is going to be involved as a politician and as a senator, she knew that there were people there that had her back. She knew that her attorney was there. I was testifying for her. A young Republican who's a law student, Seth Shook, was there. He was going to be testifying. And so Catherine said, hey, I'm going to go deal with this. I'm going to try to be back. I don't know if I cannot or not, but she went and dealt with her patient, which I think is honorable.
And I did an affidavit early because we knew that this was a potential
possibility. And so she had filled out an affidavit with everything. And so she stepped away to do her job. It was a Monday at 2:30. They didn't do this when it was beneficial for the people involved. They did this when it was beneficial for them. And so I think that's very interesting. But they had this at 2 p.m. and we went in, and they what's interesting to me is they had 2 sheriff's deputies there. Now, these 2 sheriff's deputies happen to be not deputies. They happen to be the elected sheriff, Tony Skinner, and the chief deputy, Jeff Stanley, who I'm very good friends with both of them. Both of them at various times watch the show, and so I know that they're familiar with the situation, and in somewhat. And I enjoyed sitting and talking with them. I thought that was a good time. But we go in, and they told us ahead of time, like, we couldn't record or live stream, and we couldn't do any of that. And like, I'm used to going in and dealing with court and things like that. And I know when somebody, what?
100 people are watching.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's well, now to 98. Anyways. So I was like, okay, well, you told me that we couldn't record. So like, I wasn't going to break that law. It wasn't a law. I wasn't going to break that requirement. You required that we didn't record. So that was the thing. So we go and we get seated, and then they pop up and they're like, if you could all give your phones to the sheriff's deputies. Well, first and foremost, giving the phones
in kindergarten.
Yeah, right. I'm like, what in the hell? So first of all, giving the phones to the sheriff's deputies doesn't mean diddly squat. I could turn my phone on record, hand him my phone, and it could still record from where he's sitting in the room. So that's nuts. Like absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? Like very bizarre. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give my phone to them. I'll take my phone outside and put it in my car. So that's what I did. And I do want to, I want to make a very, I'm going to give Russ, I'm going to clear some air here. There was a comment that was made. Lisa posted this, and I think it's, keep it up. It's funny because we actually laughed about this. So everybody else in there, they either didn't take their phones in or they gave their phones to the police officers. I took my phone out to the car because I'm not going to give my phone to another man. As a man, I'm not going to give my phone to another man and say, here, hold this, because I'm not trusted with it. I'll put my shit in my car and that'll be that. But then after the testimony, when the committee was going down to deliberate, and we were all just kind of like trapped in the room, it was at that point it was Lorene, the attorney, Nicole, and Catherine's attorney, and then myself and Seth, the young Republican law student, and then Russ Willis, and then the 2 police officers. We were just all sitting in there. Well, when they went down to deliberate, they said, okay, you can get your phones back or whatever. And I could have walked out and got my phone and came back in, but there was no point. I didn't think it was going to be that long. So I just kind of sat there and chilled. Well, Russ had his phone, and Lisa came up by the door and saw that he had his phone. And like a good person, and I appreciate she did this, she snapped a picture. And
but before that, he was sent to stand outside.
Who was?
Russ.
No, he wasn't sent to. So there's some confusion here. He arrived. He was not there. He just didn't get to go in with them. So they all went inside, and he thought he was going to walk up and go in and just be chilling with him. No, they locked the door, and he had to stand out with all the knobs. You know, he was out there with us. So he was just out there. He was like, you know, a Dickie do with the rest of us, just standing out there. And I don't think he liked it. But so she takes this picture and she posts it, and it says like, hey, this isn't right. Bilbrey had to take his phone out to the car, and Russ has his. That actually popped up, and Russ saw it on Facebook while we were sitting in there. Like, I actually enjoyed some time with Russ today. It's very weird to say that. Like, I wish he wasn't such an asshole, because he seems like he could be somebody that you could enjoy spending time with and talking to. It's very strange. He says, it was quiet. We're just sitting in there minding our business.
Multiple personality disorder, people. Listen to me.
Yes.
When a leopard shows you their spots,
yes,
believe them.
Absolutely, 100%. Okay? It's silent in there. And all of a sudden he says, now you done it, Bilbrey. You got me in trouble. All because you had to take your phone out to the car. And I look up and I said, what? And he's like, they got a picture of me, and they're saying it's double standard. And then we all had a laugh about it. And then after that, I said, I tell you what, Russ, if you really want to shake it up, what we'll do is when we walk out of here, you and I shake hands, and I'll say, okay, I'll call you tonight. And then you say, okay, we're on for lunch tomorrow. And he got a great big smile on his face. And he said, I'm down for it. Let's do it. Like we were going to do it. We were going to do it. But he got mad because he didn't get his way, and he ran out too early, and we didn't get a chance to do it. So that sucks, because we were going to have some fun time. But
and I just want everybody, after this all happened and information came flowing in, they had voted the way they have, because now I'm in exile and I'm not a Republican in good standing. I want to bring, I mean, like literally my nameplate needs to be Dr. Katherine Callahan, Republican, not in good standing.
Yes.
Okay. I just sent you something in the Madison County message, and I want the people, before he brings this up, I want you to tell me that this is a Republican who should be in good standing. Not only should he not be in good standing, he should be banished for the rest of his life from the Republican Party. But what's more disturbing is that Russ had an alias name named Tom 2. on top of this, and him sending this out. Now, this is just only one piece of things that people are sending me right now. This hit piece was against Senator Gaskell. Yeah. And through all of this, Senator Gaskell could not make his way on President's Day to the 5th District and say, as the senator, I got something to say about this. Because the behavior that Russ has done and how crude it's been through the years needs to be addressed. Now, I will tell you the great thing about what we're getting ready to share and read to you. It's true. It is true. And many of you need to be thinking when you're voting about what this has to say. But let's put this up, because this is a hit piece that Russ put out as Tom 2, thinking nobody's going to know who this is. I don't know why he would use the name Tom, but whatever.
Tom 2.
But look what this has to say about Senator Gaskell and the fact that he couldn't even show up
Well, I want to talk about that
the
here in a
former
second too.
GOP of Madison County, who has reigned for 13 dark years.
So this says, Tom 2, this is a post. This group with Mr. Gaskell, because here's what happened. There was the Republican Party in Madison County, and then Gaskell and some others formed their own. Yeah, formed their own group. There was like a split. So if the Madison County Republicans have been divided way before Katherine. I mean, they've had infighting and craziness. This just goes on. It goes on everywhere. You know, the Democrats over here do the same thing. The Republicans do the same thing. It's just what happens because you get people in power that want to keep power, and they're insane. So this says, this group with Mr. Gaskell is raising its ugly head again after being ousted from 3 county council positions. Gardner Culp, his son Gaskell, and daughter Prophet running is another attempt to run government as they want. How many government paychecks does this family want? Wife is county treasurer. He was on county council and defeated. Daughter as mayor. Son as councilman. Daughter-in-law worked in congressional office. And Gardner's husband is on county council, and she works in county office. And let's not forget Gardner's $125,000 in unpaid property taxes while accepting their 2 county government paychecks. Culp is being used, probably naive and unwittingly, by Mr. Gaskell. He is so desperate to find candidates, he has resorted to prostituting his kids to run. Wow, he must really be a sick person. Some suggest his wife is psychologically and emotionally abused by him. Have a conversation with her, just her. Then have a conversation when he is with her. She is 2 different people. He keeps finding people to run in primary elections to make incumbents and good candidates waste money. Commissioner, treasurer, recorder last year. Mayor, councilman this year. When the county party comes out publicly and says these people are just using the Republican Party to advance their agenda, that says volumes. They are all using the same half-truths, falsehoods, exaggerations, accusations, and outright lies about the current administration to spread their scare message. When will they go away? Mr. Gaskell was defeated but continues to try to get a foothold in offices through other people. Pendleton School Board was jubilant when he resigned from the school board and went to the county council. The people of Madison County were what is that? Jubilant? That is such a weird ass word. When Mike and Mike were ousted from the council, his ideas are not wanted by the people. Move out of the area, or at the very least, crawl back into your hole. If you have State Farm insurance, maybe time for a change, or at least a change of agent. I did. And now, listen to this. I just want to say this really quickly. First of all, a lot of this shit is the same stuff he says about Katherine. Well, you notice?
And here's the thing. It's very much the same stuff. But here's the thing. Russ, you're no longer the GOP. So take some of your advice from this note and take your ass somewhere else.
Yeah, crawl back into your hole.
And I don't usually cuss or swear, but I'm telling you right now, I am at the end of my rope with you, Russ Willis. And so here's the difference between Mike Gaskell and myself. Everybody keeps saying, Katherine, what are you going to run on? Katherine, what are your promises going to be? Katherine, how are you going to make things different? Well, here's what I'm going to tell people. I can go and tell you, hey, we're going to work on the insurance. We're going to go work on the medicines. We're going to go do that. But you know what? At some point, we've got to get back to the beginning. And here's where it is. If Mike Gaskell had any cojones at all, he would have sued him for defamation of character. He would have gotten him out of that seat. He wouldn't be in this seat anymore. And I wouldn't be sitting here in the middle of this trash. So here's going to be the difference. The difference is that in 6 years, I started in 2020. So we'll just say 5, right? Really, it's technically 4 because we didn't even go until 2021.
Sure.
In 4 years, Russ Willis no longer reigns in this county. He's not the GOP chair. That is what I'm showing you. I am a proven and effective person in a seat. And as a matter of fact, I don't need to be in a seat to get the job done. So it doesn't matter to me if you elect me or you don't elect me, because I'm going to tell you something. Even with I'm not elected, Russ is out. And it wasn't just me. It was a small group of concerned citizens, including me. I just had the biggest megaphone. But
or is he out?
Giving me the information.
Or is he out? Because what we saw today. So I want to say this because I still feel like there are probably people that don't know. So
is this a Republican in good standing when you say something out like this?
Yeah. Right, right.
And then Gaskell becomes senator and you still let Russ do what he does? I don't care what anybody says. I'm not saying something horrible about Gaskell. But clearly, Gaskell is fine with how people treat people like this. I'm not okay with this.
Well, I want to say, number
Gaskell
one,
should have never been okay with this. If he can't stand for himself, he's certainly not going to stand for any of you.
You asked Gaskell. You said Gaskell should have came and said that he was against what happened today. For the record, I want to put this out there. Gaskell has talked to people around the district. He's talked to people in Madison County, and Gaskell has said, out of Gaskell's own mouth, Gaskell has said he fully believed, this is before today's hearing, that he fully believed that he would be running against Katherine. He thought that he thought she would be remaining on the ballot and that she should be able to run. That he had stated she should be able to run. If she meets the requirements for the two primaries, she should be able to run. Now, what's disappointing is he wasn't man enough to write an affidavit into the 5th district. He wasn't willing to come. He wasn't willing to call them or email them.
That's what's disgusting about the whole thing. If you want to represent the people, then you need to take a stand, and you need to stand on something, and you need to stand firm on it. And if you can't do that, then you know what? Let the lady take over. Because I certainly don't have a problem.
And I'm just going to say this really, really quickly, and we're gonna look and see what happens here over the next couple of days. But in the same token, Kelly Hewer had been speaking to people in Madison County and around the district, and Kelly Hewer, before today's hearing, had made the same statement, stating that she was not really confident about what was going on. She really didn't know what to happen. In her opinion, you met the standard to run, and that, you met the standard to run as a Republican. So if she felt that you could run or should run as a Republican, then I was kind of the belief that she would be adamant about doing what happened today. So I want to make sure people are aware. Before we went into today's hearing, what the big ask was, what Russ wanted Nicole and Katherine, two separate people, to be declared Republicans in bad standing. Nicole, he wanted to be a Republican in bad standing for 10 years. Katherine, and this is just bizarre, on one of the documents that he filled out, he said he wanted her to be a Republican in bad standing for 10 years. Then on another document that he filled out in the same packet, he said 5 years. So we're not sure if it was 5. We're not sure if it was 10, or maybe he wanted them to add it together and be at 15. I'm not really sure what exactly he wanted.
What concerns me is that, much like Ken Delabastide with the Herald Bulletin, is, are we starting to see some early signs of dementia? I mean, these are careless.
I'm not a doctor. I can't say that.
Yeah, but they concern me because they're starting to get their numbers mixed up. They're starting to get, the number of times somebody runs. So I don't know if this is just,
I just think it's
no
ignorance.
attention to detail, or if we're starting to have some memory issues.
That very well could be. I just think I think it's a continued pattern of continued ignorance over the time. What's going on? So when we went into the hearing, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to Laureen White, Katherine and Nicole's attorney. She kicked ass today, and she did this. Most attorneys, when they represent somebody, they law stuff drags out and out and out and out. You normally listen. You can't normally get attorneys to take a case and say, okay, well, I'm ready and I'm going to write everything up and I'm going to be ready to defend it and fight for you in a matter of like 2 weeks. That just normally doesn't happen. Laureen was up for the task. She did her job and she kicked ass, and Laureen did a hell of a job. I want to give a very big shout out to Laureen. And
Laureen did a great job, and her job is not done. Wait till if you stay with us all the way to the end of the show tonight, you're gonna hear about the biggest kicker of it all.
Oh yeah. There's
a big ending to this.
Laying the foundation, basically, like an attorney would do. We go in, and it wasn't like we just had endless times to talk. I think we need to start doing this type of thing here for the Political Spotlight when we have guests on. But like we got like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It was ridiculous what they had to do. So they set us down.
Did they cut you off and tell you were at your time?
They did. So Mario held up a piece of paper that said, so you started, you got 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So
it's like speech class.
Yeah, we were at our 2 minutes time. He held up the 2 minute time. He held up the 1 minute time. He held up the 30-second time. I'm like, could you quit doing that? I'm a professional counsel speaker. I know how long 3 minutes are and 2 minutes, and I can get it there, buddy. I don't need, that's throwing me off. Don't do that. But he held that up, and Laureen laid out the evidence. Russ did not take in anybody to speak on his behalf. I'm hearing he couldn't get anybody on his behalf.
Several people and several of the elected officials said, absolutely not. We will absolutely have nothing to do with this.
So he took nobody in to help him. And he presented no evidence. He presented the evidence that he presented was Facebook posts that he presented in his original complaint. And he didn't do what one would do to be able to do that. Here's something that people don't know. And I was going to say this the other day, but I didn't. I wanted to hold off until we got through the hearing. So Katherine came on here as a contributing correspondent in August of 2023. And when that happened, very much like my Facebook page is the Kristopher H. Bilbrey is not like a personal Facebook page. It's very much the show. That's how Katherine's page is. And Katherine has given her login information to several different individuals. I think I have it. I think Kate has it. There are several other people that have it. I post on Katherine's page. Katherine posts on her page. Other people post on her page from time to time. And so the evidence that he put forward, it could have been something that Katherine posted. It could have been something that I posted. It could have been something that Kate posted. It could have been something that someone else that Katherine's given her login to posted.
Nicole's had my login. Like
Nicole's had it back.
Nothing in me that's afraid to give out my login.
Right, because of what we use it for. It's not used for personal crap. It's used for getting information out. And so he didn't go through any kind of process to verify or to get any kind of certification that, yes, these are posts that were made by Katherine. He just threw it together. Then when he went in, he didn't use his 2 minutes. He spoke very quickly. He didn't use his 3 minutes on either person. And so when the case was laid out, and I called down to the Secretary of State's office and I verified whatever they did in this hearing. And I've said this and people still didn't believe me. Whatever they did in this hearing could not affect Katherine or could not affect Nicole in the way of running for the offices they currently are running for. They would be on the ballot. People would be able to vote for them. And whatever happened today would not affect them. And when I was testifying, giving my testimony, I made that statement to the committee, and I said, I just want you guys to be aware that we're aware of this. And when I said that, all of them shook their head yes, that they were in understanding that no matter what happened, when we walked out of that door, you would be a candidate, and you will be a candidate when people go to vote. And so they let us know that they knew that. And so I was like, okay, well, to me, we're good. Okay. So then basically what happened was after all of that, we went down. We stayed in the room. They went downstairs to deliberate, and that took the whole hearing. Took 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most. The deliberation lasted an hour and 15 or hour 20 minutes. And when they came back up, they said that they had the two findings, and they said for Nicole, they were going to admonish her for her past behavior, but that she was still going to be considered a Republican in good standing. They then went on to Katherine, and they said they found that Katherine was not a Republican in good standing, and that she would carry that distinction not for 5 years, not for 10 years, but she would carry that distinction for the rest of this year and for all of next year, and that negative distinction would fall off of Katherine on the 31st of December of 2027. So when the ball falls January 1st, 2028,
I'll be eating my grapes.
Yeah, when she's eating her grapes, she will be a Republican in good standing again. Now, what's very peculiar is after they told us this, the chair says, you have to Lorraine, you have two ways to appeal this. You can appeal this to the state. You have 15 days to appeal this to the state. Or you can appeal this to the county chair in Madison County, which was Kelly Hewer. And Kelly Hewer is one of the people that was there. And he said again, I just want to reiterate, you can appeal to the chair. And he literally did that, doing it in a way that
It's like when you go to class,
yeah,
and the teacher's repeated something 3 or 4 times, it's
this
going
is
to
going
be
to be on the test. Yeah. And so it was as if he was, from where I was sitting, he was telling to Lorraine
the picture.
Yeah. He was telling Lorraine to appeal to her. Now, yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think, and I could be way off base here, I think that might mean that she might be willing to fix this. But I'm going to be honest, and then I'm going to let Katherine go on her rant for the rest of the show, and I can just check in. I'm going to say, we came out of this. I came out of the door today feeling like this was a victory. Today was a victory. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about this.
Did Russ feel like it was a victory when he
No, listen. This is very important. This is very important. As soon as they said that about Katherine, Russ stood up. The guy was still talking. We were still in the hearing. Russ stood up and he went, bye. And he walked out the door. Ran out. He was pissed. He was mad. He didn't sit around. He didn't wait to be dismissed. I mean, they couldn't have held me hostage. If I wanted to leave, I would have left. But the point of the matter is, it was very odd. I witnessed two behaviors, which I can say, body language wise, were very peculiar. The body language of the chair saying, you can appeal to the Madison County chair, that was weird. And what Russ did, Russ stood up, said, bye, with his hand put like this, bye, and he jettisoned himself out the door. It was so weird. It was so weird. So when I came out of that door, and I'm going to tell you exactly like this, Nicole, this is a win. She's good. This today didn't even happen. Rock and roll. Admonish me. Put it in the paper. Sing me a song. Send it out in carrier pigeon. Whatever.
Tomorrow I will be front page headline.
Oh yeah. Well, absolutely. Well, and so for Katherine, 3 things could have happened. 3 things could have happened. They could have told Russ to go pound sand, and that would have been the ultimate win. They could have told Katherine, you're in bad standing for 10 years, and that would have been the worst case scenario, but she still could have ran. It wouldn't have mattered. She's not trying to be the party chair. She's not trying to be a delegate. She's not trying to be a precinct committee person. She's wanting to run for senator.
I think they'll leave Nicole alone.
Yes.
But Russ isn't done with me. And here's a news flash, Russ. I'm not done with you.
Well, yeah, we've got a big bombshell. Yeah, we've got a big bombshell coming up for the end. So when I walked out, I thought Katherine can do this either way. I think it's hilarious that she's in bad standing. I'd put that on my signs. I'd tell everybody that, because look, first of all, you know, look who the Republicans are to tell me that. Look at everything you guys have been doing. Look at all the shit going on.
I mean, look
who
at
are
Tom
you to say
that Russ just put up against Gaskell?
Right. But you know, who are you to tell me or to tell Katherine or tell anybody that we're in bad standing? You know, like, what in the world? You clean your own house before you come, you know, cleaning mine. So I think Katherine could run in bad standing and be just fine. But she could also appeal, and maybe it's fixed. And here's the deal. If they fix it, great. If they don't, we'll run in bad standing. She gets to run. They don't get a stopper. The people get to decide, and this was a victory for the Republic. This was a victory for our country. This was a victory for Indiana. This is a victory for Madison County, for District 25. Today was a non-entity. It was like a phoned-in thing, because it didn't matter. The outcome did not matter to this. It was nonsensical. So that's where I stand. Or what are you going to do? Or listen, don't say anything that you haven't talked to your attorney about. Do you know if you guys are going to appeal? Yes or no?
We are absolutely 100% going to appeal this.
Okay. So, and are you appealing to the state, or are you appealing to the county?
If I was Harold Bolton, I'd be real careful publishing that until
they can publish it, and then if you appeal, they'll go through the course.
They won't make it right. Scott Underwood and Ken, they don't make it right. They haven't even made it right about Senator Gaskell, that it's his 3rd time running and not his 2nd time running. Like, they're not ever, when it comes to Katherine in Madison County, and I'm sorry, I apologize to everybody who's on here who's a Caucasian, but if it's a white male, they have some type of like hard on for me. I have no idea what the deal is when they are writing about me or stalking me. I don't even know what to say about it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So, it's going to be interesting. We are absolutely going to appeal. That appeal process, I think we have like 15 days. I will not be waiting until the 9th hour. We will be making this a pretty quick turnaround. So we will be doing that, because we all need to get on to the actual election itself. Now, understand, Katherine cannot have access to the walking list. That's part of my punishment, because if we can cripple anybody who might be a threat to winning, that's what we want to do. And that's what took place today. Today was, let's cripple Katherine. But let me tell you something. I have always been willing to run against the odds. That has never scared me. It's never bothered me. And the other reason why I'm going to appeal because I believe the public has the right to see the whole process through. Doesn't matter if I win or if I lose. What matters is did any of us know that we could file this with the 5th district? A lot of us didn't even know this. So this was a great opportunity for people to learn, like, hey, if your county isn't doing you right, you can appeal to the 5th district. I think this is a great opportunity.
Well, it's different than if you don't feel like they're doing right. It's if they're not in good. So this is not. I want to be careful because I heard you say this earlier, and I do want to push back on this a little bit. This is not just a complaint system for people just out there in the world to file complaints. This is party business. So it's a little bit different.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to push back to you because, quite frankly, Russ is a nobody. He's not party business. But he still continues to act like it. And what I'm saying is,
but it's you
district set a precedence. They should have pushed back. This should have gone to the county level, but they didn't do that.
No, you wouldn't have wanted that. No. That's nuts. What that would have done is it would have been the county level or the state level. So for you, it would have been state level, and that you wouldn't have wanted because that would have been the ballot decision. So that's why I'm saying this is the thing that people have a hard time understanding. This is just inside politics, inside baseball. Party business.
I understand that.
It's not that Russ is nobody. It's that you're saying that you're a Republican running, and he's challenging that.
And that's what I'm saying. The lay people should be able to challenge somebody like if Russ Willis were running for something, they should be able to challenge that and that's what I'm saying. This was an opportunity for the community to be educated and learned. We didn't know a lot of this happened. And that's why it was so important that I could have picked anybody to go in there and represent me. But I chose a young law student to go in there and have this opportunity because this isn't something that happens every day. I mean, if something's going to happen, it's certainly going to be me that's in the middle of it. So, I just felt that this was a great time. And so we're going to follow this whole procedure all the way out because I want us all to learn and see what's going on. And should my time come to pass, at least the next person in line who's being put in the same situation, they have something to reference, they have something to fall back on, and they have somewhere to turn, I would hope.
What did you say? Are you immortal?
What?
Go ahead.
At some point, I'm, my time will come to pass.
Okay. You just said, should it? And I was like, what?
Should it? It may not. Maybe I am immortal. Who knows? Right?
Real quick. C Time said, so if she doesn't get the answer in her favor at the county level, can she then take it to the state level? That's something that Laureen is going to have to check into. We're going to have to look into because they made it seem like, so I would think that's how it would go, right? So she can take it to the county, and then if she doesn't get what she wants there, then she could take it to the state. But they didn't make it seem that way. They made it seem like she could do either or, but I'm not sure. We're going to have to look into that. But the thing that everybody needs to...
we're just going to take it to the county level.
Yeah, the thing that everybody needs to remind themselves of, and I want people to know this because people will hear this and they'll think what they think and they'll turn it off and they'll zoom out. If she appeals, and she loses that appeal, and she's just a Republican in bad standing, there's nothing we can do about it. She's a Republican in bad standing until the 31st of December, 2027, and there's nothing we can do. She will still be on the ballot. She's still perfectly okay. You can vote for her if you live in District 25 and you pull a Republican ballot. She will still be there. So nothing they can do at this point will remove her from the ballot in May. Citizens will get to vote.
And I don't think they show a vote on how did they do that?
No. So what happens is in this case, and this is standard procedure for this, David and everybody else. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that because people need to know this. That's a great question. So the the board was made up of the members the members of this like tribunal from the
You
5th
have
district.
no idea, Stumblefoot.
yeah.
Mm.
Was Darren Reese from Grant County. He's the chairman. Kelly Hewer is from Madison County. She's the vice chairwoman of this 5th district deal. Jessica Piper is the secretary, and Mario Massil Amini. Mario Masilla Amini is the treasurer. He's from Hamilton County. So it was these 4 people. I don't like that it's 4 people. It should be 3 or 5 or 7. I don't understand 4, because what happens if it's a 2 and a twofer? That's really strange. So it should be 3, 5, or 7. It should be some kind of a, just like every other elected thing. So that's freaking weird. Okay.
And I want everybody else to know what was really weird is all 4 of them.
Hold on. Wait. Tell that in a second. But we never really get the point. We got to finish this point here real quick. Yes. Tell that here in a second, because this is very big. But they went downstairs and they deliberated on this out of our presence. And about an hour and a half later, they all came back upstairs, and the chair spoke. He asked anyone if they had anything to say. They did not. He laid out the deal. He said, this is what we decided. And they didn't say if it was 1 to 3, 2 to whatever. They just said, this is our decision. I don't think it's a vote thing so much as they just make a decision. And then they told us, and then we left. But were you there when that happened, Catherine, or had you left?
No, I was there in the beginning when all 4 of them showed up together and walked to the building together as one unit. And we have it on film. It was a very strange situation. Now, what are the chances that all 4 people are going to get there at the same time? They're all going to walk up together at the same time.
I'm pretty certain that I think someone said, and I'm working on finding this out, I think they all went to eat together before they came to this.
And that's what's so sad about the whole situation with this whole thing. And if you're watching from the 5th district, that looked pretty disgusting in my eyes. There's nothing about that when you guys walked up that you should have been smiling. All 4 of you should have known better, because it looked awful. And hopefully in the future, if you're going to go do stuff and sneak around, you'll be just a little bit better when you show up for something like this.
Yeah, it was very weird. I want you guys to watch this. We're gonna watch this. I got this pulled up here.
Credit cards that she has.
So we're just over here talking and having a, just getting ready to. Matter of fact, I was getting ready to wrap this down.
Thank God we were still running.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Listen, if you can't run your own ship, what are you doing? Right? Wanting to go out and try to run everybody else's. That's a bit much.
Yeah. So
okay, it's gonna happen right here.
Piper that's coming in, I would
imagine. Listen. This is amazing. And all of a sudden, Catherine's like, "Is this Jessica Piper coming in?" And I turned around and I was like, "Yes."
ADHD kicks in.
Yeah.
And I would imagine.
Yes.
So what's interesting here is they're all 4 coming together. So were they to lunch before they got here? That should be worrisome for all of us that they all 4 walked up at the same time.
Did they all come out of the same
They
car?
all walked up they all came together.
1,
and
2,
so I would
3,
consider
4.
this a
Bang,
staged
bang, bang.
event. This
That's
is very
interesting.
interesting.
That was very.
They should have never done that. So now
Did they all come out of?
Okay. I
would love if somebody had cameras, a business had cameras over there. Like I would literally pay if I could have their footage.
I hold on. Because I've seen a lot of people talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen that are asking about the ads. I don't understand what's going on. YouTube has never ran ads during lives. I think they've done 1 or 2, like maybe in the before. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't like when that happens. Yes, I want to get paid. Yes, we like getting paid around here. It helps, getting paid helps us do what we do. And so it is what it is, but I don't want to do that. Let me look into it. Please just stand by. I know it's annoying. I get it. I don't know why it's doing it. It's not us. We're not just like, oh, ads. When we do a video that is an hour and a half, we generally put up 3 ads, one at the beginning, one in the middle, and one at the end. And they're like 10 or 15-second ads. You know, that's it. When we do a 2-hour show or more, we do 4 ads. I've never put ads in live. I don't know how to put ads in the live. If you have YouTube Premium, you won't see ads, period. But if you don't have YouTube Premium, you will see them. We will address it. I apologize. It's not us. Let me see what I can do, but just bear with us, and we will try to take care of it. I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, back to this. This was very weird. I know some. There are some. There are some law firms down around that area that I know that I might see if they have video that we can see. But I will tell this, the ads run over our voices. I would like to see one of these ads.
To focus on what we're doing right now.
I am. I'm looking at what the people are saying.
So, okay,
the ads run over our
and I'm going to
voices.
say, this is what I've been, and I want to just say.
But real quick, I'm going to get. I'll see if I can get that. But I have already talked to somebody that has told me that the arrangements, and so I'm going to talk to them tomorrow and find out. But I'm sure I can find out where they were at and what they were doing. But they did come here together. Go on.
So I just want to say I always appreciate. I've had a ton of people sending me messages, and it does help. So please, I'm always encouraged by that. So this came out, and it says, I'm not sure if you will see this or not, but I just wanted you to know that all week I have been praying to Jesus about your situation that you are going to deal with today. And I just sat and prayed again right now. And I prayed for Satan and any evildoers to be removed from the situation and for them to be blocked from doing you or anyone, else any harm in the mighty, powerful name of Jesus. And just know God is right there with you, and he fights for our battles for us. So I wanted to come tailgate, but I had to sit and pray, and I just couldn't right now. She then goes on and watches it. Now, that was in the morning. She comes back in the evening. She says, I just watched Christopher's 2 videos of what happened today. I'm not that smart when it comes to politics, but what parts that I did hear and understood, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It's like these people are in kindergarten and they are trying to make you and Nicole go sit in a corner for time out. I mean, seriously, it's hard to believe this is real and that these are grown adults with government positions. But regardless, like the Bible says, if I was you guys, I would just count it all as joy. Because if evil, corrupt people are mad at you and trying to block you, then you must be doing at least something right. P.S. I have to know what is public shaming. For real, I really want to know. I didn't know what that meant, that they said Nicole will be publicly shamed. Will they have a meeting or something where they literally tell her she is shamed? Or is it just some stupid lingo they use to say because she had to come to that meeting today and they think she should be ashamed or something? I really am having a hard time believing that any of this is real from adults. So does anybody want to answer that?
Yeah.
What I'm really hoping is that the Madison County Republican Party decides that they're going to reenact the Game of Thrones, the shaming of Circe.
Yes, I was just getting ready to say that.
Amazing.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Nicole.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
yeah, that would be cool. I hope we bring back the stocks. That would be cool. I'd like to throw things at her. Can people from outside of the county come? This could be really, really fun. So whoever's listening to this, I want to really make this big. I don't know if they're going to put her in the stocks and we can throw like food at her. If she's got to stand naked somewhere. If she's got to hold a sign. No, you hit the nail on the head. Whoever this is, caller, you hit the nail on the head. It's just lingo. It's just words. They'll probably write up. Not probably. They're definitely writing up a documentation. They will provide it to her attorney, Laureen. Laureen will provide it to her, and then they will probably say something at the next Madison County Republican meeting. They will make it publicly known in her meeting that she has been admonished, and then she'll go on living life, and it won't matter. Let me tell you this. I have been admonished by far better and worse people than the likes of all of you. So have at it.
This is exactly like it. This is Mean Girls. I mean, so she goes on to say, and she goes, this is all so corrupt, but extremely childish. Well, if they do make you guys sit in the corner, and I just want everybody, nobody sits baby in the corner. Catherine's not sitting in any corner. I don't care what corner you give her. I'm sure there are plenty of people, including myself, that will go sit with you guys in that corner. I think it would be an honor to sit in the corner with you guys, and I'll bring the dunce caps for us all. At least we can have some humor out of this. So what color would you guys like your caps to be? Because I'm still going to vote for you guys. And this is the thing. I mean, I think there's way more people out there who are watching this whole thing go on, and it's actually gaining me strength. It's gaining me voters. I mean, parents are getting their kids registered to vote. Like, this is great for Madison County. I'll be encouraged to see like just how many new voters we have and how many actually get out there. You know, another guy says, congratulations on your victory today. The Democrat Party did the same thing to me back in the 70s. I had voted a straight ticket and backed who the party backed since I started voting in 74. The year I didn't vote for the primary candidate they were backing, I was told I was a bad Democrat, not welcome to any more Rooster Club meetings, and blackballed from the Democrat activities, all because I voted for this guy and not this guy. I'm not saying their names. These days, there isn't a difference between dirty Democrats and dirty Republicans. They're all in bed together. And so it's kind of just interesting to see how everybody reaches out to me. And I'm telling you, I'm getting Democrats reaching out. I'm getting Republicans reaching out, because this wasn't just about Republicans today. This was about people. And this was, I mean, I'm just amazed. I mean, I could go on with all the things. You know, and I'm going to tell everybody, the song that I just had in my head all day, I don't know how old some of you are, but the White Snake song that says, "Here I Go Again." Do you know this song?
Yeah, it was my graduating song.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, when is this going to nonsense just going to stop? But at the end of the day, Catherine's just always going to be Catherine. That's all. I'm always going to tell the truth. I'm always going to spew the truth. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to even vomit the truth.
That's
if you follow my Facebook, you know that.
Yeah,
that's
very
just
good.
me.
Yes.
And so, you know, I guess the time is now to say, I do need your help to get people out to get voting. I do need people to get out and walk, and we're just going to have to pound on some doors and see what we can do and make a difference and bring home a victory. I mean, think about that. Somebody needs to call Senator Callahan, and once you tell her that we put her in bad standing, can you ask her to come over here and help us? Yeah. And then I'll show up that says Senator Callahan, and then the back I'll say Republican in bad standing.
Yeah.
And then I'll fix your problem.
Yeah, right.
Because Catherine can see way past the child pettiness.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, and that's the thing. Me running for senator, you're going to see me at meetings. You're going to see me all throughout the county. If you call me from your area, you know I'm going to show up at a county meeting, and you know I'm going to speak. And if I'm not going to be able to speak, guess what? You're going to be able to speak. I don't care how many times they tell us to sit down and shut up, because we're just not having this anymore. Yeah. And so the opportunity here, no matter what they voted today, the power is always in the people.
Yes.
So they can send me to wherever, but you can send them a message that says we no longer are playing in your sandbox. We have a new sandbox that we want, and it's a clean one. And we only want people in the sandbox who do speak the truth and want to serve the people. You people can continue to sit over there in that kitty litter, rotten sand and do what you do with each other. But we're not going there anymore.
Yeah.
We're on a new path. So, it's kind of interesting how all this has come out. It's interesting that nobody would come and support Russ for this today.
That's very telling.
It is very telling. And shame on the 5th district that didn't say, you know what? This man's on some type of mission. No other elected official will come and support him. Clearly, some of the things that have been done, Katherine has had to fight back. That's just the bottom line. I'm not going to sit there and let somebody pounce all over me. You've got the wrong girl for that. I came from the east side of Indianapolis. Now, you can take the girl out of the east side, but the east side is never coming out of the girl. That's just not going to ever happen. I was raised on a military base. This is just what I do. And somebody else sent me this. Several people said, you were made for this. This is exactly what you were made for, to expose the corruption, to fight the corruption, and to push back and stand against the corruption. And I will tell you, you're seeing more and more people willing to come out and do that. Look at Dave Sargent. He was willing to stand up. He didn't care what it cost him.
Yes.
Right is right and wrong is wrong. And to be honest with you, to see that person who's willing to do that when you saw so many other Republicans run and hide, people, we got to start rethinking what we're doing and what we're recycling in office. I will tell you that there's never going to be a time where Katherine's going to run and hide. That's just not ever going to happen. So, today, huge win for Nicole. What words are just words. They can bounce right off of you. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's why you need to take that one. They lost that case. Then you have me, who's a Republican in bad standing. What exactly does that mean? You have a Republican that tells the truth? Is that what that means? Because that's clearly what it is. There's nothing about me that lied or did anything.
Yes.
So as they ended, and so we'll leave this at this unless there's something else people want to talk about. But I will say this tonight. I'm not a vindictive person. I am absolutely not a malicious person. And many times I do let things just go and I walk away and I don't even argue or fight it. I know that you find that hard to believe. And in the 23 caucus, Russ Willis sent out a claim that I have always voted Democrat, which was false, because in 22, he challenged me because I had only voted Republican, but didn't have enough to be a state delegate. Now, again, that was another bone that I threw out there. I'm like, I'm going to run for state delegate. He signed off on 6 people. Let me see what he does. Sure enough, he took the bait. These guys take everything I throw and they swallow it. And then, infests them. So, we had the 22 election. I filed for state delegate. He challenged me. I wasn't able to get on the ballot. We go into 23. He tells everybody that I'm a Democrat, that I've always voted Democrat, when he knew that was just a bold-faced lie. Do you see the similarities that he did with Gaskell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're very similar.
Yeah.
But let me tell you the difference between Gaskell and myself. I have a breaking point. And that breaking point, once you hit it, is not a breaking point that gives up. So as we finished the situation today over what my ruling was, and as I look at Gaskell, who has not done what he should have done and gotten Russ out of this seat long ago, we made a conscious choice.
Really quick, before you go there, because I think this is important, and I don't even know that Brad is still here, but Brad asked a very important question. I think, I don't know if you know anything about this, and if you don't, maybe you can look into this and you can answer Brad, because Brad Swinski.
Yeah, I know Brad.
But he's got this question for you. So if you know anything about this, you might answer. He says, can Katherine comment on Gaskell's douche move of adding the amendment to Senate Bill 1359?
Is that the one that came out today?
Yeah.
I'm
pretty
trying to
sure.
think if that's the one where he wants to shorten voting time periods.
I'm looking. Yeah, I guarantee you it'd have to be.
You know, if I was the
I
state
looked it up.
senator,
It's still not up on the IGA.
It's still
the
not.
amendment. No. It's not.
Oh,
if I was the state senator, you know what I would do? I would I would go on probably a couple weeks before we're supposed to go in session. Now, listen, if you are my patient and you're watching this, do not fear about me in the office, because Katherine's still going to have that office. In the even years, that Senate convenes 30 days out of the year with no more than three days a week. So don't worry about that. And me, I'm happy to do weekends or evenings. It doesn't bother me one bit. I mean, I love what I do and it's my practice. So we would just alter our days and we would figure it out. And you know that even though I'm paying, my ADHD is going to have me on the computer watching what's going on at the office and still watching what's going on over there. So I can multitask a number of things. But you know, don't worry about that. But I would, a couple weeks before we go to session, I would start holding live podcasts like we are here with Kristopher and have people jump on. Tell me what your thoughts are. Let's debate a little bit of what's going on, what your thoughts are, and how you really think I should vote. And that would be from everybody. That's not going to be only Republicans can get on here. Anybody can get on here. I don't even care if you're not a voter. You can get on here and tell me what your thought process is. And so then what I would do is, as I'm traveling to the state house, I would actually do some live and I would talk about, hey, today we're going to talk about, or last night, this is what we ended with. And then on the evenings coming home, I would again say, okay, this is what happened today. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about this. Send me what your thoughts are so that I can better represent the people. And here's the thing. It doesn't cost the taxpayers anything.
yeah.
I mean, it's all free for me to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And actually, I would try to see if we could get some type of bill that serves the people to this, that each senator has to do a live broadcast, like when we're in session, 3 nights a week, at least at minimum. And one of those nights has to be on the weekend because people need to have a time where they can get. So that's, you know, some of the things I would do, but you need to have more access to these people. They're not in some bubble. They're not better than any of us. They put their pants on the same way we put our pants on, one leg at a time. I don't know how else anybody does it. So that's just my thought process. And I have no problem being on the Senate floor saying, if you think you're that good, let me just show you how cocky you're going to be here in a minute when I put you right back in your seat. So, you know, that's just me.
The proposed amendment to House Bill 1359, Amendment 2, early voting, reduces the period during which in-person absentee voting may occur at the office of the circuit court clerk or satellite office established by the county election board to a 16-day period ending at noon on the day before the election day. I'd be fine with that.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell.
Look, I don't care one way or another. What's the deal?
So, you know, I'm not for it and I'm not against it because I don't have enough information. Yeah. But this is what I believe. I'm concerned when we have these too long before the election day. So, what I would propose as a compromise is I would say, okay, we can go to 16. However, the days have to be 12-hour days for voting. So instead of that 8 to 4, I would say, okay, then we're going to do 8 to 8. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because we have so many people who work all kinds of different shifts and have children. So to me, I'm okay with shortening it if we lengthen the hours that we're open to make sure that we are hitting everybody. So I don't know that's my thing. I would put that on the table and see if we could find a compromise. Now, I know that all these government officials turn into pumpkins at 4:00.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But we do have people who this is a great way they could make some extra money, and they get off of work at 5 and they might want to work 3 to 8 and don't have a problem doing that. As far as I'm concerned, the clerk, we only have elections going on at certain times of the year. You certainly can do this extension and be around and work 12-hour days on those days. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. We don't need to pay our government officials more for working those longer days. They can take comp time. That's how I feel about that too. They can alter their schedules around that time. And as a matter of fact, when we're in election, they are not allowed to take any vacation time in that office. Nobody in that office is allowed to take vacation time. Now, my rules would be a lot stricter. It's just the way I believe. It's just who I am. All hands should be on deck during that time period, because I'm tired of listening to people tell me, 16 days, I have to have my vacation at this certain time. No, you go find the other, 350 some days you can have it at that time.
Yeah.
So that's just me. I feel like there's enough downtime in government systems that these guys can figure out their comp times when they're going to be working 12-hour days as opposed to this. That's the whole thing. So, but I'd have to go back and look at the labor laws as well during these election times and see where we're at. So that would be my compromise to that. If we're going to shorten it, it does give us less time for ballots to be manipulated, for them to be doing some type of private count that we don't know they're into. So that's just my thoughts. I don't know what people's thoughts are about that.
Yeah. The young man that was out there with us today had some very interesting thoughts before we went in. He was talking about his voting record. He's a very astute, very politically involved young man. Seems like he's somebody that votes as much as he can. He's away at college, but he still votes back in Madison County, which means there are times he has to vote absentee. And I want to be very clear here, folks. For years, I said, early vote, early vote, early vote, early vote. And then I interviewed Maurer, I forget his first name, the Indiana Secretary of State candidate that ran as a libertarian. And he completely changed my way of thinking on this. He's like, nope. So I have to say this, 1000% vote on election day. If at any at all possible, whatever you can do, drag yourself there, vote on election day. But if you can't vote on election day, then the very next best thing to do is to go in person to early vote at the machine at like your clerk's office or one of the satellite offices that way. And you got to do it on the election day or early voting. If you just can't do it, then you can vote at the machine, early vote. But then if you just can't, for whatever reason, do that, then you mail in vote. But those are like way down the list. And I want to, you have to, Jeff, yes, Jeff Maurer. Thank you, Kate. You have to man and woman up. I say this all the time. You know, there are people in like Iraq and other places where we've like went out and they've got democracy, freedom, and whatever, and they're crawling through the hot desert to dip their thumb in purple paint and put it on a rock or put it on a piece of paper to cast a vote. And we can't be bothered to get off our ass and get in a car and drive. You got to have some agency in this.
Or register to vote via your phone, as technology is now today.
Well, that's I'm talking about actually going to vote. I'm just talking about going
to vote, and then people show up on the day of election going, "I'm registering today."
Well,
you can't do that.
Yeah, right. But I'm just saying, the people who are like, "Well, it's too hard to get out there." You just got to do it. Shit, life's hard. Shit is hard, and if you're not happy with these things and all these, it's amazing to me. I was just talking to Ryan Webb about this the other day. How many people are like, yeah, bro, I want you to win. I want you to win. I'm going to vote for you. I'm going to vote for you. And then election day comes and he loses by 63 votes. And they're like, oh, dude, I thought you had it. I didn't go. Or, oh man, I got caught up.
The same thing. The same thing.
Let me tell you something. If you're a person out there and that happens, don't tell a candidate that. Be like, yeah, I voted. Because there's nothing that makes me want to punch somebody in the face more than to have somebody lose by 6 votes and to find out 7 idiots didn't get off their ass to go vote. Don't say, oh, I didn't do it.
And somebody just said the day before is when the inspector for the voting sites has to go to the courthouse and pick up everything for election day. The day before.
They do it. Yeah, they do it that night. They go out that night. And then they take it to the place and they set up the voting. Yeah.
So do they go by themselves?
No, you go out in a team. You go one Republican.
That's right.
And one
Unless Russ Willis does, and we've had complaints where we have had, just one person transporting the ballots by herself. And he admits to it. And he's like, well, and the second time I fired her. And there's never been any accountability for that. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that should have, like Senator Gaskell should have heard that. He should have been in that county election board meeting saying, oh no, this should absolutely never have happened. But you never see that. I mean, and that's the whole stuff that they get mad about me for, because I'm in there saying, oh no, we've got this on record and we're going to, do something about this. So that's kind of my thought process. Again, I would want to hear some feedback from other people before I would cast a final vote on that. I'd like to see what others have to say about it.
Hey, we've got some breaking news. We've been dealing with this all day today, and I had heard a very little bit about this. I should have said something earlier when we came on, but we've just been inundated with this. But this just came out. And we've had some people that ask if we could talk about this for a second. It's just going to be a few seconds.
And I just want everybody to know we still have a big.
Yeah, we have a big story. We have a very big.
At the finish of this,
we're going to talk about that.
Today's thing.
Give me 1 second here. I want to put this up here, but I think this is very important. Give me a second here. Share this tab and let's put this up here. This is a big deal. It seems like it's. Tell me if you have sound on this. So, nope, there's no sound on that. Let me kill that.
Did that kid die?
What kid? No.
Oh.
No. I messed that up here. Give me a second. Let me get this.
It doesn't involve Randy, does it?
No. Amazingly, unfortunately, no.
Does it involve?
No,
Stroll?
I shouldn't say that. No, neither one of those. I was not thinking when I said that. I should not have said that because I think that this is bad. So
What county is it in?
This is from Marion County.
Oh, Marion.
Or I believe. All right, here we go.
M-A-N. Is anybody going to have a lapel? Probably. I hope not. Thank you.
And Chief,
I'm trying to talk. No, it's hard. They might not. I appreciate you all being here this evening, and I just want to take a moment to thank all of the support that we received so far in this troubling and undescribable pain that this family is going through and that our department's going through. It is with a heavy heart that I inform you that today we lost one of our very own, Officer Brian Elliott. Officer Elliott has been with our department for approximately 2 years, but he has left a lasting impression and legacy on not only our department but the city.
This was an ambush shooting.
Brian, his family, and his wife, Erin, and all their loved ones. This is devastating loss for our department and for our city. Our officers put on their uniform every day and today to serve the community and protect this community. And Brian made the ultimate sacrifice in doing so. During the incident, a second officer was also shot. He is in stable condition and is expected to survive.
Good.
My heart is heavy. I'm asking that we lean on one another to get through this. Again, thank you to all the first responders who came to the scene, all the assisting agencies, the medical professionals who were here to try to save Brian's life, and the other officer. And I appreciate all that they do and are doing to make sure that they make a full recovery. A little bit about Brian. Brian was 33 years old. He's been with us for about 2 years. Before that, he worked 4 years at the Marion County Sheriff's Office. He was a Beech Grove kid, resident, and always wanted to be a Beech Grove cop. He was a graduate of IU Indy, and he is survived by his wife, Erin. Brian attended the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, and with the esteem as an assistant squad leader, an honor graduate, and was the Glenda Mercer Memorial Award winner for top academic achievement.
Rick Snyder, SNYDER, President of the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police.
I like this dude.
Unfortunately,
He's,
here we
he's
are again.
sharp.
We've stood outside this hospital way too often, talking about officers who have been critically injured and officers that have lost their lives in sacrifice to the communities that they serve. You heard the background of Officer Elliott and the remarkable work that he's already done. Far too often, that's what we're saying, right? These are one of our shining stars that has fallen here tonight. So we just want to ask that the community, we know the Beech Grove community well. They're going to wrap their arms around this police agency and all of their officers, but they need to be there for their chief of police and the mayor of Beech Grove as well. This agency is going to need to lean on the community that they serve. In the interim, just a stark reminder, we're still averaging in this nation an officer being shot in the line of duty once every 25 to 26 hours. Let me say that again. An officer being shot in the line of duty once every 25 to 26 hours in our nation. And on average, an officer is dying in the line of duty once every 52 hours. But these aren't statistics. These are people. These are women and men, fathers, husbands, sons, grandsons, daughters, wives. It's remarkable that we have women and men who are willing to step forward and lay it all on the line. This is a kid that we're told he's a hometown kid. Grew up in Beech Grove, came back to Beech Grove to stand the line on behalf of his fellow neighbors. And here tonight, he has carried out the ultimate sacrifice, and he has fulfilled what God, who called him to this line of work, asked of him to do, which was to love God and to love his neighbors. And he has shown that ultimate love through his sacrifice here tonight. We talk a lot about what our officers do. It's important to remember that we have officers that are out in the community right now looking for the perpetrator of this crime. Other officers that are risking their lives right now. So we need the community, the residents in those neighborhoods, to help our officers by staying inside, staying safe, and also calling 911 if they see anything or hear anything that we need to know about. That is the active role that they can play. In the interim, we ask that people remember those officers and what they're risking right now to bring someone to justice. In addition to that, I have a message to the perpetrator of this crime. It is not too late. You can turn yourself in. I strongly encourage you, find somebody that you trust in the community, a faith leader perhaps, a pastor of a church, someone who can help you get in contact with the police department and turn yourself in. That is the best thing that can be done right now, is to turn yourself in so that we can get to the bottom of what occurred here tonight and figure out next steps from there. That's the best thing that's needed. We talk often about the community supporting our officers. They can do that by providing good information, especially witness information, and also anyone seeing or hearing anything that would be of value for our officers. Before I close, Mayor, is there anything you'd like to share? This is Mayor Kaufman.
Thank you, Mayor James Kaufman, City of Beech Grove. First, I want to thank the medical personnel here at Eskenazi, as well as our law enforcement partners. I swore Officer Elliott in on September 4, 2024. He's one of us. a graduate of Beech Grove High School, and a devoted public servant. Officer Elliott represents the best of Beech Grove. And tonight he made the ultimate sacrifice. We're holding his wife, Erin, his parents, family, fellow officers, friends, and loved ones in our prayers. We are here for them. We already have received an outpouring of support from our community and our citizens, and we are grateful for that. This is a dark day for the city of Beech Grove. We feel this loss profoundly. In Officer Elliott's memory, we will continue to serve this community. Thank you.
As we wrap up here tonight, we know that there are IMPD media liaison officers that will be available to the side, but we won't be taking any questions. We talk time in and time again, and it seems to be cheap words of thoughts and prayers in tragedies such as this. If you allow me, I'd just like to pray for our city real quick. Father God, we thank you for being with us. We thank you for your promises, and we thank you for your presence in our lives, and we thank you for your peace. I pray for peace of mind, peace of heart, and peace of spirits for these officers that are still out there right now, actively serving and standing the line, but also all these fellow officers that are grieving right now. I thank you for being with this family who is hurting so much right now. May your peace fall upon them. And Father, we just ask that you continue to lead and guide our city and our leaders as they lead and guide us. And Father, we just pause. We give you thanks right now for peace in the middle of the storm. And I pray all of this in the name of my Lord and Savior, our Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Amen. Amen. Thank you, guys.
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The suspect was captured. That's the other thing that I had pulled up, and that I was seeing that they had captured the suspect. He was captured just a short time ago, about 10:30 p.m. This evening. Indiana State Police spokesman announced a suspect in the shooting of the two Beech Grove police officers. One has been a murder. It was an ambush-style shooting. The other is in stable condition. The suspect is in custody. He was apprehended by a SWAT team from Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, and they did get this gentleman in custody. And his name is Kenneth Terrell Johnson. So he is in custody, and I think from what I'm hearing, he was arrested without incident. So that's good for him, and that's good for the situation. So hopefully they'll figure that out. And I apologize, that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about, but that's what happens sometimes. It comes on. We're not journalists here, but breaking news is important.
My heart goes out to Beech Grove. I mean, we went through this in Madison County when I got the call on Officer Chanovez. And, it's kind of fitting that this came on tonight, because this is how this all started for me. I just wanted a morgue for our county. That's all I wanted. And when I had to bring Officer Chanovez back from Marion County, and we had to go inside that pole barn, and it was over 100 degrees inside that pole barn with no fans, no air movement. There was a gravel road, a gravel flooring in there. I could not even remove Officer Chanovez out of the hearse and roll him to the beer cooler morgue. I had to look at his fellow brothers, and I had to ask them in their deepest moment of sorrow, as we had the flag draped over Officer Chanovez, and his parents were able to be there at that moment. And they even asked, do we have a chair? I'm like, we don't even have a chair. Like, literally, you look around and all you see are these trailers, and it's a storage area.
Yeah, it's totally nuts.
I mean, it was awful. And we had to shut the doors because there was so much going on the outside, and it was so hot in there. And the officers are in full uniform, and they'd been up all night because this took place in the middle of the night.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And literally, they looked at me, four on each side, and they picked up the cot that was on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And on this gravel, unsturdy flooring, they wobbled back and forth and carried Officer Chanovez to that beer cooler. It was horrific to watch such a thing happen. There was no need for that. And guess what? It's still there today. And this is what has caused the rift between the Republicans in the good standing party and the lone Republican in the bad standing, because all she wanted was respect for an officer and the people we bring through the coroner's office. If you think that you're never going to need the coroner, if you think that's never going to happen to you, I got news for you. You have no idea what situation is going to take place where you're a coroner case. You just don't know.
Sure.
And so that's how this is all started. And here's the thing. Our coroner's office, now the budget is 3 times what it was. It's gone for like 200 and some thousand to 600 and some thousand. The pay has more than doubled. They've got new vehicles. So Katherine wasn't just all the way off half cocked in left field. And so that's and here's the thing. We didn't have any running water out there. And the FOP, I don't know if you know this, but when a fallen officer passes, the FOP will leave somebody at guard around the clock with that officer until they are moved. Literally, I have a fold-up chair for this officer with a folding plastic table. And I'm like, well, here's some bottle of water through the night. And he had to sleep out there in that pole. He didn't complain, but he had to stay out there in that pole barn, and then they would switch shifts. But even for him to eat a sandwich there, he's like, well, where do I wash my hands? Well, you're not going to do it out here in the pole barn because there's no running water. So, it was then where I'm like, okay, that's enough. We've done this enough. I'm calling OSHA. So I'm the one who called OSHA on the coroner's office, but it wasn't the coroner. You have to file against the coroner. But remember, Commissioner Richwine, Auditor Gardner, Commissioner Darlene Likens, they didn't want to give us any money. They wanted us to look bad. And this is how you treat one of our officers. And so now we've got an entire sheriff's department. And where is Gaskell? Where is Pierce? Where are all these people? We've got an entire sheriff's department that couldn't get a contract. Finally, they're getting one, but it's for 1 year. These men and women go out every day not knowing if they're going to come back home, and nobody can speak on this behalf. Nobody can put the numbers together like I did that says, well, Gardner over the last 5 years has gotten like a 38% raise. Stephanie Mellinger over in the health department, she's gotten like a 68% raise. Look at all these raises all across the boards, but we can't raise our sheriffs. We can't give them a contract. So if you're wondering why I'm running, it's because I'm running to be the voice of the voiceless. I'm not going to run on some empty promises of, I'm going to fix this and I'm going to fix that. The fact is, I'm going to get the job done. Clearly, Russ isn't in seat. We're going to get the job done. And so this infuriates me to even watch this because it brings back PTSD of how I had no other options on how to take care of Officer Chanovez.
Dude.
I had not even a chair to sit his mother down when she was so hot out there. And she was saying, do we have a chair? I mean, this is craziness. And we deserve better in Madison County. And I am so very sorry for Beech Grove and their families tonight in that community. I fully feel what you're going through, but I do hope that you have a better environment than what we are given here in Madison County today. And I'm going to say it. I get along with Adam Matson, but Adam, you should be pounding those pavements just like me. You should be at that podium saying, this is unacceptable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's my soapbox. And
well, before we end off on this, Walter, we have to talk about the big news.
And I'll let you tell that because I wasn't there, and you can tell them what exactly happened.
Well, I know what happened, but I don't exactly know what's happening. So I'll tell what happened, and
Okay.
then you'll have to say what exactly it is. So I'm working on getting the public record. Once the filing is there, we'll have it. We'll put it out. So today at the hearing, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that happened was the defense in this is a continued attack just year after year after year by Russ Willis against Katherine because Katherine's been willing to speak out, because Katherine, he didn't like that Katherine was in the coroner's office, and just various things that Russ has had some kind of issue, some kind of obsession with Katherine over. And so because of his position in the Lincoln Club and others' position in the Lincoln Club, and because of their actions, because of the flyers that they sent out, because of the continued just craziness that's occurred, the harassment, and the way that they have treated Katherine, the things that they have said. Katherine and her lawyer filed a lawsuit. It was filed today because of President's Day. It'll be file stamped tomorrow, and it was filed through the court system that they have against. Who's it all against?
Well, I just sent that to you in Matt, and if you want to look at it and understand this, this is not something that's going to the 5th District. This will be in a courtroom.
Yeah, no, this is
This
a
will
lawsuit.
be with a judge.
Yeah.
This will the county election board's out of this. This is now Katherine saying, I am done with the county election board screwing off. I'm done with the 5th District on whatever they're planning to do.
Well,
And now,
done.
Russ, you're going to go get yourself an attorney.
Yeah.
And so are several other people.
So this is Katherine Callahan, plaintiff, versus Madison County Lincoln Club. Russ Willis individually and as president of the Lincoln Club. Pete Hewer individually and as vice president of the Madison County Lincoln Club, husband to Kelly Hewer. And Anthony Emery individually and as treasurer of the Madison County Lincoln Club. If you remember, Anthony Emery is a former Madison County council member. He is off the council now. The only thing that I hate is that Ben Gale couldn't have been added in here. I wish that could have happened, but he wasn't part of the deal. But this is a lawsuit filed against the Lincoln Club, Russ Willis individually and as president of the Lincoln Club, Pete Hewer individually and as vice president of the Lincoln Club, and Anthony Emery individually and as treasurer of the Madison County Lincoln Club. Now, my question is,
and this is what I want
what
to
is
say
the
to
lawsuit
Russ Willis.
for?
This is for defamation of character on
Okay.
me with the flyer that was put out right before the election in 24. Remember the flyer that came out and Kristopher had the cartoon character saying that I couldn't juggle all these balls and that I had the OSHA violations and that I'm the one who couldn't do payroll and I'm the one who didn't get death certificates signed and more. There's like 6 different things on there. Yeah. And so I, of course, asked my attorney, I want to do every single one of those balls that he has up in the air individually. Like I want something against every single one of them. And here's what I want the people to understand. Gaskell should have done this a long time ago. And I will make sure I will put my money with where my mouth is. And I think everybody has watched this in the past. I will put up or I will shut up. Just the same thing with the LKQ. I had enough and I'm like, I'll sue this town. And so, and we won. I mean, I'm going to protect your water.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it's going to be. I'm going to protect our water. I'm going to protect your water. And I don't care if we're contiguous. If it involves affecting my patients and it could make them potentially sick, you better believe I'm going to fight you tooth and nail. And now, Russ, you have made this personal, but evidently you don't know when to stop. So I am going to make sure I put the final nails down because clearly Kelly Hewer can't do it today. Kelly Hewer couldn't get it done and say, go over there and sit down.
Yeah.
But Katherine Callahan is going to, because everybody knows it was on the news that I was the whistleblower and I'm the one that turned them into OSHA. For him to say that I have OSHA violations, Russ Willis, I have a doctorate in nursing. I know what is supposed to be happening with biohazards. I know what is supposed to be happening with a morgue. So don't ever question my professional ability, because that is when I've had just about enough. Please remember, I sued the county in federal court and I won on payroll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you're saying I can't get people paid? Are you nuts?
Yeah.
And the fact that and again, here we are with a group of white males who've allowed all this to happen. Anthony Emery knows. He was on the council. He knows who filed those OSHA violations.
Yeah.
He knows that there was a lawsuit that I did because, and you know what? Then Russ says Katherine sued the county and wasted taxpayer dollars. No, what happened, people? John Richwine said, Rick Gardner said, Ben Gale said, Anthony Emery said, if you think you're right, then sue us.
Yep.
That's how that happened. This wasn't Katherine over here trying to make a decision. I tried to work with them for months, 6 to 18 months on all these different things. And their answer was, then sue us, then turn us into OSHA. Okay, I will. And I can show you all this documentation on the number of times I tried to work with them and they just refused. They just dug their heels in and they absolutely refused.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And just like Russ put in his complaint that I have disrupted meetings and that I've been thrown out by the sheriff in those meetings for being disruptive. I didn't disrupt the meeting. I called out misappropriations of $100,000 in funds of the commissioners. So that's what's going to happen because you know what? I'm not Mike Gaskell. I'm not a weak person and I'm not afraid. I'm not going to ever be this machine that says, oh, well, you guys are keeping me in seats. This is what's going to happen. What I care about is the people. That's all I care about, that we're being treated right.
Yes.
So I'm able to wash my hands between this deceased body and that deceased body.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're going with this. And again, they want to play checkers. Katherine's come to play chess. Now, I will tell you,
that's right.
I was not able to be on the board today during the hearing. The Queen was not there, but everybody else got the job done. And I'm forever grateful for that. I didn't lose anything today.
Oh no. Today
I just exposed more of the corruption.
Yeah, today was not a loss
and here's the thing,
on our behalf in any way.
If you want to go drink the purple Kool-Aid, go drink the purple Kool-Aid. But check it out, everyone.
Yeah. And people are saying, well, what's going on here?
I know that many of you think that S on there is for Superwoman, but it's really for Senate.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Senate woman. That's hilarious. People are saying, well, wait a minute, why is Russ smiling? And that's because, as Katherine started this off saying, Russ is gone, it is true that Russ is not the chairman. He is not the chairman. He's just a nobody. But while we consider today a victory, what would have put the final nail in the proverbial coffin of Russ being just a nobody citizen would have been if Kelly would have fought for saying, we're not doing anything on this. We're not doing anything across the board. We're leaving this alone. We're done with Russ's nonsense. We're letting this election play out. One of the things I said in my testimony today is, we're all supposed to be conservatives. We're all Republicans. In this room, we're all Republicans. Lorraine's a Republican. Jessica Piper's a Republican. Kelly Hewer's a Republican. Darren's a Republican. Mario's a Republican. Seth was a Republican. I'm a conservative Republican-ish person.
Russ is a Demlican.
Russ. If you want to say a
But on
Republican,
paper, he shows that he's a Republican.
yeah. The sheriff and the chief deputy, they're Republicans. I said we're all supposed to say that we are conservatives, right? We're supposed to believe in the First Amendment. We're supposed to believe in our freedoms. We all have the First Amendment right to speak and to redress our government and to say when we're disappointed in things. Katherine has that same right. And more importantly, we all should believe that the Republican tent is a big tent, and we don't all have to like each other. We don't all have to get along. There's room for Russ and room for Katherine. And Kelly, as the leader of the chair, as the leader of the party in Madison County, and as a member of this 5th district committee, she should have pushed for, we're all here. We're all Republicans. Let's leave this alone and let's get to work of the election and let the citizens make the call. Period.
But Kelly doesn't have that strength.
Yeah, right.
And here's the thing. If she does have that strength and you're watching here, Kelly, tonight, you do have that strength.
Do the right thing.
Then you need to do the right thing and tell Russ you've had enough.
Do the right thing. Do the right
you
thing.
Need
I
to
know
show
that
people that you are a leader and not a follower, because today you were a follower. You could have easily swayed all 3 of those other people, and you could have said, this has been years of fighting between them. I'm not playing this game anymore.
Yes.
We're going to call a truce. Katherine, you're going to stand down on this. Russ, you're going to stand down completely because you're out, and we're going to start moving forward.
Yeah.
Now, Katherine, if you get out of line again, then we'll come back to this situation. Mm-hmm. But you know what? You have been baited. You have been, tortured. You have been stalked. You have been berated. And you did get defunded. His actions have been absolutely deplorable. And you know what? We're stopping this right here because I need to unify and I need to bring everybody together and move the Republican Party in Madison County further along. But you didn't do that today.
Yeah.
You just separated us even more for now.
And the issue is, and I know that Kelly likes to say that everything said on here is a lie and that we're lying about her and that, this is not the truth. And she doesn't have, time for the lies and she's just not going to engage. Kelly, to be very clear, so that you know that this is not lying. So people know when you hear this, Kelly Hewer, I want you to hear and understand this. I know that you and Russ are on the outs. I know that you and Russ have had an issue. I know that you and Russ have had issues here lately. And I know that it's come to a head. And I know that you're not happy with him. And I know that he's not happy with you. So when you start spreading that crap saying that we're lying and we here at the Political Spotlight are just telling lies on you, I want you to hear those words and let you know, I know things that are inside your head. I know things that you're discussing. So just be clear out there. We're bringing you as much information factually possible. Kelly's free to come on. I would talk to Kelly and I would treat her respectfully. She can come on.
I've never been anything but nice to Kelly. I've never been rude or disrespectful to Kelly. When I've seen her out, I'd be more than happy to have her on the show and have this discussion with her. There is nothing in me that doesn't, but I will tell you, Kelly, if you're going to lead, you better start doing it with some appropriate behavior, because right now you did not lead today. You followed and you allowed Russ to control the situation instead of trying to figure out a way to make this stop.
Kate said
that you might. Kate's very right. I mean, I see Russ just getting more and more aggressive. Absolutely. And my problem in Madison County is Rodney Cummings cannot even contain Russ. That's neither can Andrew Hanna. I don't have a prosecutor in this county that can contain Russ. And that's a problem.
Well, we'll see what happens. I appreciate it, Katherine. Today was a victory. And and we'll continue following this as we do. And
Can you put up the very last picture with Dina Willis in that too? Because I'm going to tell everybody right now, a married man behaving like this, she didn't have any control on this guy either. I mean, like, this guy's completely just off the chain. And I've got to be wondering what his wife is allowing him to be so obsessed with one woman. Because if it were my husband, I'd be very worried that somebody is this obsessed with one woman. Russ, go check your gas pumps. The stickers are behind. Go check the scales in the meat rooms because they're behind. Go do what the taxpayers pay you to do.
That's what I said is that's what he's doing. He's checking the meat scales or whatever you just said.
I mean, obviously he is not busy enough. I mean,
he's checking the meat scales.
With as many gas stations as we have in Madison County, he should be pretty busy.
Yeah, right. God, I'm trying to find it here.
Oh, do I have to?
I got it. I'm just trying to get it put up.
So we'll end on this last picture. I just want you to know Russ is in heaven.
It's
with
the exact
so much
same
attention
picture.
with all these women around him.
Or something.
But Russ, you might want to look around at the women that you're hurting because it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that the men that surround me, they make me shine bright. There'll be no tears over here over you, Russ.
The men that surround Catherine, considering eating a bullet.
But Stumblefoot keeps coming back. Admiral keeps coming back. Alva keeps coming back. So I don't know. Gary keeps coming back.
I might just need that.
Back.
I might just need that corner after all.
I got a pole barn for you.
Yeah, right. All right.
Thank you, and get people to register to vote.
Yes. Register to vote, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you back here tomorrow. Hey, Henry County Day. It's going to be crazy. Hopefully, God willing, I make it out of the Henry County Sheriff's Department. It's always really kind of weird going down there. So we'll see what happens, and we will be back this time tomorrow to deal with all of that. So thank you, Catherine. Stay put. I will be right back with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a wild show. I don't know what we're going to do. It just depends on what happens. And we might even have a new color in here tomorrow. What color would you like? Let me know. And tomorrow when we come on, we'll maybe have more about the game, whatever the contest that we're going to have. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out. You guys take care. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great day tomorrow, and we will see you. Take care. Good night. Goodbye.